In this episode of the Reclaim Project podcast, we are joined by Steve T to discuss Neurolinguistic Programming. Steve explains how NLP can be utilized to restore troubled relationships.
Good morning, Steve. Thanks.
Good morning, John.
Thanks very much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah, we met a couple of weeks ago and had a conversation, and what you disclosed what you do, and that really piqued my interest. So that's why I got you in here today.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this would be great for you to come in and share what it is you do.
Yeah, this is my opportunity to share here today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just for the viewers and the listeners, if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself and then give them an outline of what it is you do.
No problem. Good morning, everybody. I'm Steve. I'm Steve T. My surname is T-E-E. A lot of people, of my friends or my clients or even my students, they will call me as an energy master.
Right.
Because whenever I see them, they will feel the positive energy on them, even the environment as well. I don't know whether I can create such energy right here now, but this is what I always got feedback from my clients. So probably because of this, I'm here now doing NLP, which is Neuro-Linguistic Programming Practitioner. In other words, it's life coach.
Right.
Yeah, and do some public speaking as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So just that NLP, just for those that don't know what exactly it is, they might know what it stands for, but they don't really know what it involves.
Uh-huh.
Can you give us a rundown of that?
Problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes the people will mess up what NLP is similar to psychologist.
Yes.
It's actually not psychologist. Make it easy. So we are doing something like make the people like those that feel blank or feel lost in their life. They don't know what to do, basically. Don't know what's going on in their life. They just worry about the future. Alright? So they are from zero. We are here as NLP to bring them from 0 to 1, and then from 1 to 100.
Wow.
While the psychologists, they are more onto those people they are diagnosed some, mentally disease, I would say.
Yeah.
They call it like negative. Probably like -1 or 2 or even -5 or -10 to 0.
Yeah.
Back to a normal person.
Back to
This is the difference, yeah.
Yeah.
So we are trying to help the people up so that they get motivated and more ambitious and feel wonderful and feel purposeful in their life.
So it's basically, because it's neuro-linguistic, so it's basically changing the way they think or reframing the way they perceive things.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. To change their behaviors and...
Yeah, their
Okay.
attitude through the way they talk and the way they think.
NLP is also often confused with CBT,
CBT, all
which
right.
is cognitive behavioral therapy. That in itself is a completely different skill set. Yeah. They aim to achieve the same thing, but just the methodology is different.
I myself, I focus more on relationship through communication skill because I thought that communication can actually improve our relationship. Relationship is actually different from connection.
Right.
Because of this, they got lack of communication, become the relationship is not good at all.
That's brilliant, because you can easily become caught up in that pattern of thinking, okay, you're in a relationship and that's it. So there might be toxicity and disharmony in the relationship, but it just becomes kind of the norm because...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just for example, like a couple, husband and wife, they are related, they are husband and wife, but they don't talk to each other at all.
Yeah.
They are not connected at all, basically.
Yeah.
So this is what communication comes into place. We have to solve the problem from a small issue before it turns to, a bigger issue becomes trouble, or end up it will even become big disaster. So I've always start from the scratch.
So how do your clients, for example, how do they identify that there's an issue? Like we're not communicating. Like how do they approach you, or how do you identify that communication is an issue in the relationship?
When they come to me, I will just, as a normal friends talking to them to find out what's going on in your life, why are you coming to me?
Yeah.
Some of the clients, they don't even have any problem, but they just feel that they are not well connected anymore.
Yeah.
Probably just a short period of time, so I just sort it out in a very quick period. And some of them, yes, if they are diagnosed, as I said before, diagnosed with some disease, sorry, I can't help because I'm not a psychologist or something like that.
I don't know. I don't think many people understand what NLP can actually do for the relationship. Like, go to a relationship counselor, and that's not an NLP practitioner, so their approach will be completely different.
For us, like NLP practitioner, we got our own way to actually help them out in their, anything they feel lost or they feel blank in their life. So me, myself, I will focus on, again, communication to improve the relationship and then end up a better outcome, better life, life-changing.
So that communication then, that would entail a number of things, wouldn't it? Like being an effective or an active listener, or showing empathy to your partner's
yes, it is
perspective. So there's a few things involved, I'd imagine.
Yep, it is, exactly. Yep. So most of the time, make it easy. If we keep saying like NLP, for some of the people, they think that it's too professional term, specific term or something like that. I would say I will try to change your mindset so that you will go towards the right attitude, right behavior.
Just a mindset shift.
Exactly.
So in your opinion then, what, apart from communication, what other pillars in a relationship makes it quote unquote a healthy relationship?
I would say most of the pillars in communication skills. So when people talk about communication, the first thing I think pop in people's minds is like talking. It's actually not only talking. It involves both verbal and non-verbal. When I say verbal, of course, it's like messaging, talking, all this, it relates to words. But when we say non-verbal, it includes everything else, like my facial expression. And at the beginning, as I said, the energy. This is non-verbal communication. Most of the people just like to talk, and they like people to listen to them more than, they listen to people, which is who I was before. The second problem. The third thing is like, more on respect. Some of the people I can see, they love to talk as well. They're being honest. They listen, but they don't respect the people. They will think that, no, you can't talk to me. You're lower position than me. The respect. And the last one I always mention about is the understanding. People always judge people based on the cover.
And also in a relationship sense, if the couple if they have different points of view, it's having that empathy, like trying to understand your partner's point of view and then talking it out that way. Because like you said about the talking, couples might sit down and talk, but instead of listening and absorbing and then processing the other person's point of view, they might just talk at each other like they both want to be right. So, okay, my point of view is right, no, mine's right.
Yes, exactly.
And then they go back and forth, like, I behaved in this way because you did A, B, C. And then the partner will say, yes, but I reacted that way because you said or did X, Y, Z. And it just goes back and forth and back and forth.
This is a very good example that they just keep talking without listening. End up arguing. It's a problem.
Yes. And then it just festers because there's no resolution really.
I got actually a very good way to improve the relationship between the partners. All right. I can promise actually a wife, what they want from their husband is love. On the other hand, the husband, what they want from their wife is respect. I always say sorry to my wife. I know sometimes the women, they are wrong. But they never say sorry. Once I say, oh, that's okay, I just put myself in the lower position. Sorry about everything, then it's fine.
With you doing that, isn't that then cultivating or creating some sort of pattern of behavior? Like if the husband or one of the partners, husband or wife, takes the upper hand and so look, I'm sorry, because they just want to keep the peace. Isn't that then creating a pattern to the other partner saying, okay, he or she is going to apologize anyway, so...
All right. It happens sometimes. It happens.
Would your sessions involve both parties of the couple or just one?
It depends sometimes. My client, of course, they will come to me only by himself or by herself. But if they can convince their wife or husband to come together, it's even better for me to, to talk to them.
I would think so because, if there's one partner that's doing all the work and the other's kind of just, then it's not gonna be effective.
That's why one hand cannot clap. Have to be two ends.
I was looking at some stats last night. I found out that the divorce rate in the Maldives is the highest in the world. So,
Nice. All right.
yeah. Look, divorce rates is calculated by per 1,000 people. So they'll say 6 divorces per 1,000 people. Now, out of that 1,000 people, though, not everyone's going to be married. So it's kind of a false indicator for me. Because Maldives is at the top, the US is at 10. So the Maldives is 6 divorces per 1,000 people.
Okay.
United States is 2.5, so close to 3. Let's call it 3 per 1,000 people. Australia is 2.4.
All right.
United Kingdom 1.8, South Africa 0.4. I think the divorce rate in Australia is quite high. And there's a number of reasons for that. And I don't understand why. Like, it's very easy for people to go down that kind of, let's get divorced. Like, marriage doesn't seem to be valued as much.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly.
Yeah.
I can see. Instead of saying based on the statistics on countries, I can see the age group.
Yeah.
The younger they are, the divorce rate higher.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, both my parents are deceased, but they were married for 53 years.
All right.
A lot of my friends have parents that are, in that bracket as well, 40 to 50 years of marriage. And so why does that generation, why is that so successful?
Yeah.
What do they know that we don't know now or that we're not practicing now?
I would say is, again, firstly is mindset. The people mindset change, especially, after social media age.
And that's the thing, that society is completely different.
Yes.
So there's a lot of different dynamics.
And one thing I also can see is the more developed the society or the country is, the higher the divorce rate. And you can see some of the younger generation, they rather talk to their pets than talking to a human.
That's crazy.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
And then that digital age that we're in now, that makes communication harder because people prefer talking via digital means than they do face-to-face. You mentioned this before, the non-verbal stuff, all that energy.
Yeah, you can't feel it.
You can't feel that via digital means. Very interpersonal. A lot of your methodology or approach focuses around that rapport building. So you build a rapport, you feel out what the problem is, and then work out a strategy from there. Is that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Most of the cases will be their thinking, because how we think determines how we do, our attitude, and end up the outcome.
Yeah.
If we are positive enough, think positive enough, we will act positive and become positive life.
Yes.
But if we think always negative, I'm so unlucky, everything bad, all the bad things happen on me, so you will have all those negative attitude. The people will feel it.
Yes.
They will feel it. Your soul.
The body and your mind becomes accustomed to that negativity.
Yeah.
Right? So everything around you is negative. Your thoughts, your emotions, everything's in negative. And you actually, during your day to day, you actually search out subconsciously negative stuff. And you focus on negative stuff.
Yeah.
If your makeup is all negative, then obviously you can attract negativity.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Law of attraction.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. The important thing about this NLP is that, and any other method with regard to behavioral change, because people have this misconception that our brains are hardwired, like there's that circuit, and then that's it. That's what you're stuck with.
Yeah.
But you can create new neural pathways. You can create new thoughts, new ways of thinking, new attitudes. We are very mentally flexible that way. We've just got to be willing to do it.
To change. Let me share with you a secret.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I got a very easy way for us to change our negative attitude from negative attitude to very positive. Because I found out most of the people, when they think very negatively, because they always focus on the past. Second thing, because of the past, the mistake they have done, they feel so much worried about the future. So they forgot about the present, ourselves, and always looking for themselves from others, not from yourself.
Yeah, there's always that external kind of, it's almost like external validation, like everything you look for is external.
Yep, you're right.
This person's going to bring me happiness. And that's placing all your self-worth into that person.
They are not confident enough on
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
They gain the confidence, self-confidence on others.
Yeah.
It's not self-confidence, it's others' confidence on you.
And then when it doesn't play out the way you imagined that it would, then you're gravely disappointed or hurt, or you feel betrayed, or whereas it's not that person's fault. Like, it's not that person's responsibility to instill all this confidence in yourself. Like, that needs to come from you.
Yeah, and because of this, they start to like focus on the disappointment they had from others. They always stuck there, and then they always look back, focus on the past, and then they dare not step forward to meet someone else, to do something new, because they just feel worried about the future.
Yes. And in a relationship sense, let's say one partner enters a new relationship, and the last relationship was, let's say, abusive partner. So this person then carries those scars into the new relationship. So what happens then is that he or she brings that into the new relationship and kind of imposes that onto the new partner unfairly.
We'll always have to point out 3 points in one line. The first point is PPF, we call it P and F. Past, present, and future. All right, we are talking about present point. This moment. So we have to communicate to ourselves. Stop regretting the past and stop worrying about the future. To be fair to the new partner, don't always look back. When we're driving, of course, there's a big screen in front of us for us to look forward. At the same time, there's a small mirror for us to look back behind us. If we keep focusing on the mirror without looking forward, what happens next? Crash. Correct or not? But we can't drive without the mirror either. So the mirror is just a reference for us to look back, to remind ourselves that what I've done wrong in the past, just a quick look and come back and look forward. Live in the moment.